weather issues going on all across the country. And our weather here at home has been fairly calm, but I think our eyes are kind of turning to if we could see part of Florence spin up our way. I mean, it just seems to be such a slow-moving storm.
It has been. You know, last weekend we had the remnants of Gordon moving in.
Very wet here.
And it was very slow mover for us as well, bringing us in some areas. I had 6 inches of rain in Fishers, and this, I mean, it's hard to imagine 40 inches of rain is what some areas.
Such a short amount of time.
Yes.
Just slamming areas and making so much devastation.
Yeah, just sitting there and spinning. It still is. It is starting to weaken, though. That is some good news. A tropical depression at this point. 30-mile-per-hour winds with it because the pressure is still pretty low, but it is starting to rise a bit, and it is starting to move a bit off to the north at 10 miles per hour. And that is what we are watching out for as this is going to move in a little bit closer. You can see some of these heavy rain bands still pulling into portions of the Carolinas as well as Virginia, now moving into the Midwest a bit here. And here's a look at the track. It is going to continue to weaken overnight. It will likely drop into a regular low pressure system, and then it will track back to the east. So will it make its way close enough for us? We'll get to that in a moment, but I want to share this time lapse with you from the city of Carmel. Watch the bug. Gotta wait for it. There it is. All right. It was a beautiful day, though. We had some of those clouds building in and a beautiful sunset, and that was all thanks to Florence. Florence is kicking in some of those clouds, making way for a beautiful sunset this evening, and Todd Freeman shared this beauty tonight. He says, what a sunset. This is an amazing September sunset. Yes, it was all across central Indiana thanks to all the clouds. And it was also a warm day today. When we take a look at the past 10 days of September, we have had those big temperature swings, which is honestly pretty typical for this time of year. It was 90 degrees back on September the 6th. And you remember, of course, last weekend we had the remnants of Gordon, and that brought our temperatures into the 60s, 61 the high back on September the 9th. And we've been warming up ever since. Yesterday's high was 88 degrees. Today's high also 88, and we had more cloud coverage. We also had a little bit stickier dew points, so it felt pretty humid out there across central Indiana. And we are watching as the remnants start to push in a little bit closer with the clouds moving in, as well as the possibility of some rain. So that could be happening on Monday. In the meantime, it's still very mild, and those clouds are going to keep us mild overnight. Currently 73 degrees in Anderson, 72 in Columbus. It's 72 in Lafayette, and 70 still in Greencastle. Now, during the overnight, we'll see those temperatures falling into the upper 60s, so not much of a cool down. It will be warm and muggy as the kids are heading back to school tomorrow morning. Temperatures will just hover in those upper 60s tomorrow morning, and we'll keep the clouds around, but we will likely see a fog-free start tomorrow morning. As we get into tomorrow afternoon, we'll see these clouds starting to thicken up quite a bit as the remnants of Florence start to push in a little bit closer. And most of the models have really kept the rain in east central Indiana, so that is really going to be the best chance of seeing some rain. For the most part, it's just going to be a mix of sun and clouds, and it will be warm as temperatures climb into the mid-80s tomorrow afternoon. So not quite as hot as today, but the cloud coverage will put a damper on that. Now, temperatures climb to 86 degrees by Tuesday afternoon. So, yes, we're going to be warming back up again. In fact, the heat indices will be climbing as well. The dew points will get back into the 70s. So we'll see those heat indices in the upper 80s and low 90s before we start tracking some rain chances. And we do have that better chance of rain in our forecast. I'll get to that in a moment. It's 84 for your high for tomorrow. Chance of some showers mainly in east central Indiana. Partly cloudy Tuesday, 86. We get into the upper 80s Wednesday, tracking 90 for Thursday. For Friday, we'll bring in some storm chances, but it does look like next Saturday and Sunday going to be pretty wet, and we're also going to see cooler temperatures. And actually, believe it or not, this is more typical for this time of year with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Matt?
90s and 70s. A lot going on there, Kelly. Thank you. Well, for the first time since